What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Today, holy crap, we've got to talk about some stuff. We've got to talk about that Bungie Livestream and our hotfix that's going to be coming out next Tuesday, less than a week away. Oh man, everybody was asking for a new meta, and you are definitely going to get something totally different and probably something more than you even expected or asked for. Yeah, we've got to talk about all of this. So Bungie left it kind of high level. They left out seemingly a lot of details. There's still more stuff that's yet to be uncovered. And before we get too far into the video, I want to say, obviously, I never played the game yet. I never played the game under the patch. So some of this stuff is going to be assumption for all of us. We're going to have to wait and see until we actually get our hands dirty. But that doesn't stop us from speculating a little bit based on the stuff that we already know. So where do we even begin? Where do we even begin on this stuff? Alright, let's talk about one of the first things that they said. They said one of the things that the community's been saying for a long time, and it's that nerfs are not fun. Nerfs aren't fun, and they're never fun. They're not enjoyable to add to the game. They said that, and when they said that, I was excited. I was like, yes, you guys are getting it. You guys are totally getting it and understanding. Whenever you take a look at some of the notes though, I'm not 100% sure if we're seeing that in full effect or not, because I still go back to whenever they go ahead and show a usage chart and base all of their tweaks and changes based on usage. Usage, in my humble opinion, is not the best way to dictate something being overpowered or not. It's just being used a lot. Why is it being used a lot? See, that's the level I would like to go to for game design. Why is something being used a lot? Is it because it's overpowered? And I've mentioned I only think there were ever a handful of guns ever in Destiny that were truly overpowered. Nothing in the game right now is overpowered. Absolutely nothing. Vex Mythoclast, whenever it first came out, that was overpowered. Things that are being used a lot right now are just being used because they're the best of all of the bad options that we have right now. So maybe I was just getting a little bit off tangent, but of course they showed that shotgun usage is really high, and that makes a lot of sense. That makes just a lot of sense based on a lot of the other stuff going on in the game. And yet again, shotguns got a big nerf. I think it got a bigger nerf than they even let on. But I will say this, in PvE, I think shotguns are going to be phenomenal. I love it. I've been mentioning in my past Nightfall videos, however many weeks ago, I've been mentioning that I've been rocking out full auto shotguns in the Nightfall, and I am loving it. And with a 20% damage buff, they're only going to be better. So I love what they did to shotguns in PvE. In PvP though, they took away the damage scaler for precision shots, and I think what's actually going to happen is your range on your shotgun kills is going to decrease even further. Even further. You don't have crazy range for legitimate one-shot kills right now. And I think it's going to shrink even more because you're not going to be getting some of your pellets going off and hitting critical spots and then getting that extra damage boost from that. So I think shotguns, the range is going to decrease even more, and because of that, you might want to look into having some full auto shotguns. You might want to. Your Matador 64 with rangefinder, holy crap, they nerfed rangefinder yet again. Rangefinder's been nerfed several times, and it's been nerfed yet again with another penalty to handling speed. So that's not going to be good, so I might want to trade my rangefinder in for full auto. That might be your better option. And moving on to the next really big target, Clever Dragon, Grasp of Malak, just absolutely nerfed to just junk. And it's not the rate of fire. It's not the rate of fire. If what they're saying by the 7.7% decrease equaling just one frame, the rate of fire isn't going to be that big of a deal. It's not going to be that big of a deal. The problem is that magazine size nerf. 2 bursts taken away from the Grasp and the Clever Dragon, that is junk. That's just absolutely horrible. It's horrible for PvP, and if anybody ever wanted to use those in PvE, just absolutely forget about it. I hate it. I hate that stuff. I hate whenever you screw around with ammo in a shooter game. It's a shooter game. We want ammo. I think that that's just a bad way to go about doing it. I just hate that. And that's why I'm actually showing my Grasp of Malok footage, because this is probably the last time you're ever going to see me really utilizing this gun. I'm not going to be using it anymore. If you are a phenomenal shot with your pulse rifles, you'll be okay in it. But forget about trying to engage more than one person. Basically, I'm looking at these high rate of fire pulse rifles now like I look at sidearms. You're going to be getting one kill, and then you're going to have to reload instantly, and because of that, you're not going to be able to engage multiple guardians on one magazine, and just forget about it. Forget it, put it away, it's pretty much done, like I said, unless you have a great shot. And speaking of sidearms, well, this kind of goes into the whole special stuff. Sidearms didn't get any type of buff, which really surprised me, but what they ended up doing with special weapons is just nerfing them to oblivion. They took away all of your special ammo. You spawn in with special ammo, but as soon as you die, your special ammo goes to 0. So you cannot stock up on special ammo at all anymore. But their trade-off is that they're basically changing all of the special ammo boxes to spawning in every 60 seconds. So that sounds nice, but I don't really think you're going to enjoy that very much at all. I think there's going to be a lot of fights over special ammo, people getting salty. People that can hold on to special sniper ammo in the beginning of matches are going to just sit and camp by the boxes and snipe away from those boxes. I don't really think this is going to be great for the game. I'm not a huge fan of it, and people that are saying this is going to be a sidearm meta, I strongly disagree. I mean, I think you're going to see sidearms in the beginning, but I think people are going to learn the problem with sidearms, and it's that they use too much ammo to get a kill. So even though you spawn with special ammo all the time, you might at best get 2 kills out of your magazine. You might get 2 kills, and that's it. So for something like the Trespasser, which kind of revolves around being able to reload, so you spawn in with special ammo, you get your kill, and you've got nothing to reload. So what are you going to do? You can't even utilize that perk, really? So yeah, I'm not really digging the sidearms. I'm not really thinking that's going to be the case. I think weapons that are going to start off really strong are going to be the Universal Remote yet again, the No Land Beyond, of course, and the Mida. The Mida might reign supreme. Yes, Mida, again, whenever things get nerfed, Mida always rises to the top. So we've got hand cannons as well. Those things are going to be really strong, but why I think Mida might surpass them is because Mida's going to have that range advantage. So hand cannons are going to be very accurate and extremely deadly relatively close, but the amount of fall off that they actually get from trying to hit at range is way more significant and severe than you've ever been used to in the game. And I think because of that, in some engagements where you're going up against something like a Mida is going to win out. Now if you get close enough, then obviously the hand cannon is going to prevail, but otherwise I think Mida is going to rise to the top again. You're going to see a ton of that. As far as auto rifles, I'm not really exactly sure what to think right there. I know that we're seeing a base damage buff to the slow firing auto rifles, but we don't exactly know how much that is, so we can't really exactly tell, are these actually going to be viable or not. They really can't compete with scout rifles as it is, so I'm not really exactly sure how those are going to be affected or adjusted. What they did do, which is something that I thought they were going to do, was increase the precision damage multiplier. They increased that slightly, so maybe that might help. Just from some rough damage calculations, it looks like the Monte Carlo archetype is now going to be able to get its fastest time to kill in roughly 9 headshots and 1 body shot, which beats out its 10 headshots and 0 body shots previous time to kill. So we'll see if that ends up helping out or not. Not exactly sure what to think about auto rifles just yet. I think with pulse rifles, I think the Hawksaw archetype is going to be really good. Maybe the slowest firing archetype might be good too. Maybe, not 100% sure on that one. For scout rifles, Mida, of course. Hand cannons are going to be really good and really strong. People are probably going to be using the Hawkmoon again. Hawkmoon might be very viable as well. So I think we're going to see hand cannons all over the place. I think we're going to see some Midas all over the place. I think we're going to go back to our Hawksaws instead of our Maloks and Clever Dragons. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I know Blade Dancers are just throwing a fit right now with Hungering Blade. And Titans, you're probably worried about your Juggernaut Shield. And Warlocks, maybe about your range on your melee. Oh yeah, in Landfall, that Landfall nerf, I don't know what that was about. All you did was basically ruin the impossible machines. I don't know anybody who uses Landfall over Ionic Blink that plays a Stormcaller legitimately. I wasn't really sure about that one. Overall, again, we've got to get into the game actually, but we can of course talk about what we like, what we dislike about these weapon patches and balances before we get them, because that's half the fun of the game. That is half the fun of the game. So let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your balance, and I'll see you around in Destiny. #love, not nerf.